especially for PGTs, because development is one area where the examiner can catch you, and usually you will have a cerebral palsy case, so you need to know the normal developments. And also, it is a very important chapter for your MRCPCH exams also. First, I'll start with principles of development. There are 6 principles of development. Development is a continuous process from conception to maturity. The sequence of development is the same in all children, but the rate varies from child to child. Development is intimately related to maturation of the nervous system. Generalized mass activity is replaced by specific individual responses. This means that suppose if a small baby, something colorful or a toy is shown to a small baby, he will usually see it with excitement, move his hands, legs to reach for it. While a bigger child might just smile and take it. Development is in cephalocaudal direction, so it starts from the head and downwards. So to walk, first you need to have your neck control, and then you need to sit, and then only you can stand and then start walking. Certain primitive reflexes have to be lost before the corresponding voluntary movement is acquired. So for example, your asymmetric tonic reflex, basically that has to be lost for a child to roll over. This is Arnold Gisser. He's an American psychologist, and according to his milestones, which is there in Illingworth, I have made this presentation. Now, this is a video that I'll be showing, and anyone can unmute after this video and tell me what is the developmental age of this child. So what is the development age of this child? If anyone can just unmute and tell. The head is above the plane of the body on ventral suspension. Can anyone unmute and guess? I can't hear.
यहाँ पे कोई आंसर नहीं देखा, सभी ऑडियंस चैट में आएगा.
ओह अच्छा, चैट में देखूं क्या?
हाँ.
कोई नहीं दिया. ठीक है.
काफी स्लाइड है. If they don't answer, then you give the answer to them.
Okay. It's not. Four months. Anurag, it's 3 months.
डबल क्लिक करो स्लाइड के ऊपर, डबल क्लिक करो, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में जाएगा. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. हाँ
ठीक है. So it was 3 months. So development of locomotion, infant is held in 3 positions. One is ventral suspension, the other is prone position, and the other is pull to sit position. So on ventral position, as I showed you in that video, just remember 3 months or 12 weeks is when the child can maintain the head well beyond the plane of the rest of the body. And from that, if you minus 1 month, that is 2 months or 8 weeks, he can maintain this position with the plane of the body. And 6 weeks is momentarily holds the head in the same plane. So this is ventral suspension when he is unable to hold the neck in line with the trunk at 4 weeks. Head in line with the trunk at 8 to 10 weeks. And head above the trunk at 12 weeks, that is 3 months. Now prone position, first I'll show you all the pictures. So baby lies on the bed with high pelvis and knees drawn up till 2 weeks. This is a newborn baby. And then gradually the pelvis lowers and the hip extends as he matures. And 6 weeks, chin held off the couch intermittently, but the plane of the face not as much as angle of 45 degrees to couch. Now this is a 3 months old child. This is an important milestone that you'll have to remember, that basically this child is supporting his weight on his forearms. Head and chest is off the couch, and this happens at 3 months. While at 6 months, the weight is on the extended arms. Then remember, crawling is at 9 months. So if crawling is at 9 months, then just add 1 month for creeping. So this is 44 weeks creeping position. Now this is the difference between crawling and creeping. Crawling, your abdomen is in touch with the ground, while creeping, the baby's abdomen is off the ground. And 52 weeks is when the baby can walk like a bear. Basically, he's supporting his whole weight on his feet now. Now this is a video of a child. So see this child supporting his weight on extended arm. So around 6 months. And now he rolls over from prone to supine. So this is a 6 months old baby who we saw is supporting his weight on extended arms and can roll over from prone to supine. So just remember that the alphabet P comes before S. So always prone to supine comes before supine to prone rolling position. So prone to supine is around 5 to 6 months and supine to prone is 6 to 7 months. Then sitting. Then, so full to sit, there is complete head lag in a newborn. Full to sit flexes the head onto the chest at 5 months. And then infant rises the head from supine position when about to be pulled at 5 months. This is an important milestone. This I think all of you all know, sitting with support of hands at 6 months when the child, as you can see, is sitting in the tripod position. Sitting without support at 8 months. And 11 months, there's pivoting or turning around to pick up a toy without overbalancing. And when can a child seat himself in a chair? If anyone can try this question. Okay, so I'll continue because I have a lot of slides. It is 15 months. Now standing and walking reflex disappears by 6 to 8 weeks. I'll come to this later in neonatal reflexes. 8 weeks, baby holds his head up momentarily while held in standing position. 6 months, he can bear almost all his weight when made to stand. 9 months, he begins to stand holding on to furniture. 12 months, he begins to cruise around the furniture. 12 to 13 months, he stands independently, and 13 to 15 months, he walks independently. 15 months, he can creep upstairs. 18 months, he runs, crawls upstairs, downstairs, explores drawers. 2 years, now climbing stairs, you start with 2 years. So 2 years, he can climb upstairs with both feet on one step. 3 years, alternate feet going upstairs, but 2 feet coming downstairs. And 4 years, he can come downstairs also 1 foot per step. So you can remember is at 2, 3, 4. And also 3 years, he rides a tricycle. So tricycle has 3 wheels. So remember as 3 years, he rides a tricycle. 5 years, skips on both feet. So 24 weeks, he's bearing almost all his weight over the body. And 10 to 11 months can stand holding on to furniture and can walk holding it. And that is called cruising. Child walking with one hand held at 12 to 13 months. And this is a very important milestone. Sometimes the examiners, they want the exact month at which the child walks and they ask exactly how does the child start walking. So you have to say without help, arms abducted, elbows flexed, broad base, steps of varying length and direction at 13 months. 15 months, kneels without support. This child is able to walk upstairs 1 foot per step at 3 years. Climbing downstairs at 4 years, and hopping, this is an important milestone. This is a very favorite question of MRCP-CH exams. Hopping is at 4 years. How can you remember this at 4 years? So if you see this figure 4, the standing, the vertical line you can imagine as 1 foot of the child. while this curved line you can imagine as another foot of the child. So basically the child makes a figure of 4 with his legs. So that is how you can remember hopping at 4 years, skipping at 5 years. Now this is a video of a baby. Sorry. So what he is doing is basically this is called bottom shuffling. So it is a normal variant. Usually these babies they walk they have a little delayed walking, but eventually they do walk. What happens is they don't like crawling. They don't like to put the weight on their feet. So they initially start with bottom shuffling and then eventually they start walking. What is the development age of this child? This child is carrying a wheel toy while walking. So this is also a very important milestone which is frequently asked in MRCP-CH exams. It is 18 months. Fine motor milestones. So fine motor milestones, first to remember that usually in the newborn, when the baby comes, his hands are closed, as all of you all have observed. So around 3 months, the hands become open. And if you give an object to the baby, he will hold that object. Now, after he holds an object, now then remember at 4 months, his hands will come together. Basically, hands come in the midline. And he tries to reach for an object but overshoots the mask. 5 months, this can grasp an object voluntarily is a very important milestone and plays with his toes. Once he can grasp the object after 1 month, then he can transfer the object from one hand to the other. So that is at 6 months. Then at 10 months, he can pick up a small object of the size of a currant, bringing finger and thumb together. 11 months, putting objects in and out of a basket. This is also a very important milestone. And 12 months is casting. So what is casting? Casting is basically when you give a child at 12 months, if you give a child a toy or something, he will deliberately throw it on the ground. That is called casting. So 6 months transfer of objects, 40 weeks index finger approach to the object. This is the palmar grasp. So at 6 months, as you can see in the picture, it's an immature palmar grasp. At 8 months, it's an intermediate grasp and mature grasp of the cube at 1 year of age. Now, this is basically the time at which the child can make different different types of things with the cubes. So at tower of 2 blocks at 15 months, tower of 3 blocks at 18 months, tower of 9 blocks at 3 years. Then you can see this is a train. This is at 2 years. Now train with the chimney at 2.5 years. This is a bridge, 3 years. And 4 years, this is a gate. And 6 years is steps. This is copying different shapes. So I think we know because I think we've read in UG also in OP Ghai, 3 years is circle, 4 years is cross, 4.5 years is rectangle, 5 years triangle, 7 years diamond, 9 years cylinder, and 11 years cube. 15 months, he can pick up a cup, drink from it, and put it down without much spilling. 18 months, turns 2 to 3 pages of a book at a time. 2 years, turns pages of a book singly. This is an important milestone. Puts his socks on. 2.5 years, can thread beads. 3 years, can fasten buttons, dressing and undressing himself. Now the use of eyes and ears. So baby blinks at birth to sound, movement or touching the cornea, but not usually on the approach of an object. A newborn baby, usually for the first 10 to 14 days, he has the doll's eye reflex. Eyes of newborn move independently, binocular vision at 6 weeks. Pupil responds to light after 29th week of gestation. This is important. You all should know this, that for exams, range at the birth to see is at 45 degrees. By 2 months, it is 90 degrees, and 3 months, it is 180 degrees. So 3 months, he fixates well on near objects. 3 to 4 weeks. So when does actually a child watch his mother intently as she speaks? It is 1 month. And 12 to 20 weeks is hand regard. I will show you a video of it. So I'll come to that. 5 months, he excites when his feed is being prepared. So in fact, the child fixates on his mother as she talks to her at 1 month, and baby showing intent regard of the mother's face as she talks to him. And this is a video of hand regard. This occurs at 11 to 20 weeks, and it can occur in blind children also. So it doesn't mean that it is a test for vision exactly. It is just a development that happens. So then fetus can hear in utero, blink startle responses to vibroacoustic stimulation monitored by ultrasound in human fetus. The newborn full-term baby can hear. He responds to sound by startle reflex, quietening, blinking, momentary catch and respiration. 3 months, infant turns. So from here, basically the response of the child to sound starts. 3 months, infant turns the head to the side at which the sound is heard. 5 months, he turns the head downwards if the sound is made below the ear. After 1 month, that is 6 months, then he turns his head upwards when the sound is made above the level of ears. 8 to 10 months, head is turned diagonally and directly towards the sound. He imitates sounds by 6 months, responds to his name by 7 months. Now this response to his name by 7 months, so usually sometimes the mothers at 3-4 months only, they think that the child is responding to his name, but that is not true. Ideally, the child responds to his name by 7 months. 9 to 12 months, he knows the meaning of several words. By 1 year, sound localizing ability equalizes that of an adult. So this is a baby who's having a diagonal localization of the sound source at 10 months. So if you remember pivoting also, I told at 11 months. So you just remember around that time there's diagonal localization of sound source also. Social and adaptive milestones. 2 months, social smile. 3 months, he recognizes mother, anticipates feeds. 7 months, he enjoys mirror image. Mirror image is an important milestone. 9 months, he waves bye-bye, and stranger anxiety. So stranger anxiety is an important milestone. I think it is given 6 months in OT Ghai, but actually it is 9 months. 12 months comes when called, plays simple ball games. 15 months indicates desires by pointing, hugs parents. 18 months copies parents' tasks. 2 years, he asks for food, drink, toilet, pulls people to show toys. 3 years, he knows full name and gender and plays simple games and parallel play. Parallel play is an important question. So when does this happen? It happens at 3 years. So what does parallel play mean? Basically, there will be two kids who will be playing, and they'll be playing basically in the same place, but they will have their own games to be played. 4 years, they play cooperatively in a group, and at that stage, the child goes to the toilet alone. 5 years, he helps in household tasks, dresses and undresses, and there is role playing. 6 years, he knows the number of fingers, he names weekdays, knows right from left. So this is the social smile, 6 weeks. And child smiles himself, smiles himself in the mirror at 6 months of age. And this is what is called peekaboo. So peekaboo that we play with kids, it's usually at 9 months. And this is a video of pancake. This is at 10 months. Pleasure and displeasure. So all babies express displeasure before they learn to show pleasure. All say no before yes. The first sign of pleasure in a baby is quietening in the first few days when picked up. Feedings, playing of toes, and by the alternate flexion and extension. Smile at 6 weeks when he is spoken to and is followed in 1 or 2 weeks by vocalize. And 3 months, he squeals with delight. 4 months, he laughs loud. 5 to 6 months, he takes pleasure in skills like sitting, standing, walking. And after 6 months, he enjoys more games. Now, this is an important milestone, what is called object permanence at 9 months. Basically, it means that the child understands that there is something that is there which he cannot see. Basically, something hidden that he cannot see at a place.
Look at you. Yeah. Caterpillar. Caterpillar. You got it. Okay. Give it back. Caterpillar. Caterpillar. Go. Where is it? Good boy. You figured it out. Yeah.
Feeding and dressing. So beginning of chewing occurs at 6 months. Feeding themselves with spoon, important milestone, 15 months. With cup at the same time, 15 months. And knife and fork at 2.5 to 3 years. Child learns to undress before dressing. For upper half, donning, that is dressing by pulling over, and doffing is 3 to 4 years respectively. Lower half, doffing at 3, donning at 4 years. Child with average intelligence dresses by 3 years of age. He ties his shoelaces by 4 or 5 years. So this is feeding with spoon with spillage at around 15 months, and without spillage occurs at 18 months. Now speech. So 1 month he alerts to sound. 3 months he coos. Coos is like the child saying ah, oo, basically vowel sounds. 4 months he laughs aloud. 6 months is monosyllables. So monosyllables is like ba, da. 9 months is bisyllables like baba, dada. 12 months, 1 to 2 words with meaning. 15 months, jargoning. I'll show you a video of jargoning. 18 months, 8 to 10 words of vocabulary. 2 years, 2 to 3 word sentences. 3 years, asks questions. 4 years, he tells stories, poems, songs. 5 years, he asks meaning of words. So, this is a child who is showing jargoning at 15 months. So what we saw was jargon. So basically, this is actually an unintelligible but fluent speech that the child tries to speak, which the child thinks has some meaning, and it can have occasionally 1 or 2 intelligible words in between. Basically, it's the child's way to express something very meaningful, but it does not come out like that. Now this is razzing at 4 months. Not this, we will do it. This is what is razzing. So he tries to blow between his lips. Now handedness, it is established by 2 years of age. This is an important milestone, especially when you're presenting a CP case, because early handedness is an indicator of CP. Right or left dominance can be known by simple tasks assigned to them, like kicking a football. So you can see which leg they use, if it's a right leg or the left leg. Left-handedness is 3 times more common in twins than in singletons. Left-handedness is more common in epileptics, genius, psychotics, and criminals. It is more common in clumsy children. In intellectually challenged children, there is maturational delay in establishment of laterality. Handedness is partly genetic and partly environment. Developmental examination, I will not go into the details of it. If you know the developmental milestones properly, then if you're given any child at a given age, you will know basically what to see and not to see at that particular age. You can just divide it as gross motor, fine motor, social, language, and see accordingly when you know the milestones. Things that I have listed is basically one thing is that you have to carry a developmental kit for the exam, so you need to have cubes. And one thing that examiners like to ask is what is the diameter of cubes you're supposed to carry. So that is 1-inch cubes. And this is a list basically of at what age the child does what with the cube. So I won't go into the details. You can like see it later. Simple orders, 18 months, he follows 2 simple orders, 2 years, 4 simple orders. Common objects, 18 months names 1, 2 years names 2 to 5, 2.5 years names 5. And picture card, so if you show him a picture card, 18 months he points to 1, 2 years points to 5, names 3, 2.5 years points to 7, names 5, 3 years names 8, 3.5 years names 10. You just have to like learn it before the exam. Colors, it starts with 3 years. So I remember it like there are 3 primary colors. So starts with, so names 1 at 3 years, and then after that you can add 1 year and 1 year. So names 2 to 3 at 4 years and names 4 at 5 years. Drawing, 15 months, he imitates scribble or scribbles spontaneously. 18 months, he makes stroke imitatively. This is an important milestone. And remember that vertical stroke, the child can make a vertical stroke always before a horizontal stroke. So vertical stroke is at 2 years and horizontal stroke is at 2.5 years. 4 years, he copies cross. 4.5 years, copies square. 5 years, triangle. 6 years, diamond. And good enough draw man test. Now this is for children 3 to 10 years of age. So if you get a child, so usually I've shown milestones for 5 years till 5 years. So after that, if you get a child maybe who's 7 years or 8 years, so developmental examination you can do with good enough draw man test. So it is there in Ellingworth. You all can take a Xerox of it for the exams. And basically you ask the child to draw a man. So the number of things that he has drawn, according to that, you have to give him 1 point for each part drawn. So like here, this child has drawn head, legs, arms, trunk, all these things. So there is 1 point awarded for each part that he has drawn. And then you have to give the score. So total score in this diagram is 13 points. So mental age is, there is a formula, 3 plus n by 4. So this formula that you can see, 3 plus n by 4. So suppose he has drawn 13 points, he's drawn 13 things. So mental age will be 3 plus 13 divided by 4, which comes up to 6.5 years. And so this I've explained. This also simple form board you have to carry in the developmental kit for the exams. And I'll not go into the details. It's basically learning up. So this is a simple form board, and this is a Goddard form board. Basically, you have to see in how many seconds the child can finish this form board and assign him the age, developmental age, colored geometric forms and uncolored geometric forms. Now we come to neonatal reflexes. So there are a lot of neonatal reflexes, and there is a whole big chapter in Ellingworth about it, but I've tried to cover the important ones. Morrow's reflex, this is also called vestibular reflex or embrace reflex. It is present in premature birth after the 28th week of gestation and is usually present in the complete form by 34 weeks. It begins to disappear by 2 months of age, but can be noted till 6 months of age. This is important. So this is a Morrow's reflex. So you hold the child at 45 degrees to the horizontal and you drop him. So what did you see? You saw that there is abduction of the arms, extension, again it's there, abduction, extension, opening of the hands, adduction. And then there can be a cry and there can be extension of the body. So this is what are the components of Moro's reflex that I've told. Absent or inadequate Moro's response on one side is found in hemiplegia, brachial plexus palsy, or fractured clavicle humerus. It cannot be elicited in severe tone abnormalities like severe hypertonia or severe hypotonia. Persistence of Moro's reflex is noted in infants with severe neurological defects. Grasp reflex, there are two types, palmar grasp and plantar grasp. Palmar grasp, when the palm is stimulated, the fingers first flex, catching phase, and grip, holding phase, the object. Plantar grasp, stroking the sole of the foot behind the toes, causing the infants of toes to curl up tightly. I can show you the video. So you can notice how the fingers are flexing and clinging on to the examiner's finger.
The hand, stroking the side of the hand. Just grasp reflex, just again there. Grasp reflex. Okay. That's in the grasp reflex there. That's a good grasp reflex there. So the grasp reflex of the baby.
And the grasp reflex is reinforced when you try to lift the baby. Basically, you're giving traction. So,
This works just
and this is a plantar reflex.
Should princess over here. It's a grasp reflex.
Okay, so strong grasp reflex is seen in spastic form of CP and kernicterus, asymmetrical in hemiplegia. It appears at birth, palmar grasp. So primitive reflexes usually it is there till 3 to 6 months. After that, it fades. So palmar grasp fades at 5 to 6 months, but plantar grasp fades at 9 months. And persistence may indicate spastic form of CP. So if in exams there is a CP case, then primitive reflexes also you have to check for the child, and that is also a part of the examination. Now this is a placing reflex. So basically the anterior part of the tibia is touched over the edge of the table and the child will try to climb on the table. So this is the placing reflex. And this is the walking reflex. So basically if you hold the child basically the feet comes in contact with the ground, the child will have flexion and extension simulating the walking reflex.
Let's see if he'll take some steps here. Okay. Some steps here. Okay.
Gallant's reflex. So the baby is taken on ventral suspension and basically you can see that he's stroking lateral to the spine and the spine curvates to that side where the finger is stroked. This is called Gallant's reflex. Then asymmetric tonic reflex. So as you can see in the picture, the side to which the head is turned, there is extension of the arm and the leg at that side. So this is there at birth, disappears around 3 to 6 months, and persistence hinders activities such as rolling, bringing the hands together, or bringing the hands to the mouth. Now, symmetric tonic neck reflex. So on raising the head of a kneeling child, as you can see in this picture, the extensor tone increases in arms and flexor tone increases. I'm sorry, this is a typing error. Flexor tone increases. So this helps to support on arms and to get on hands and knees. Disappears when they learn to crawl. So obviously this reflex has to disappear, then only the child can start crawling, and it is exaggerated in CT. Then we have the parachute reflex. This is the reflex that actually comes at 9 months and stays throughout life. So, show you. So 3.5 weeks old infant kind of made to fall over the ground suddenly. She doesn't show any response, but at 9 months, a child extends the arms. So this is a protective reflex. Basically, they're basically trying to protect themselves from falling. Then we come to developmental tests. There is Denver development screening test, GISL development schedule, Bali scale of infant development, Baroda development screening test, Trivandrum development screening test, and development observation card. You should know the names for exams. I personally have just used Denver developmental screening test, so I can just share on how to read that development screening test. Denver Development Screening Test was described by Frankenberg in 1967. So I'll just show you the screening test first. So as you can see here, you can see that there is milestones for gross motor. There is milestones on the left hand side. So there is milestones for gross motor. There is milestones for language. There's milestones for fine motor and personal or social. So suppose there is a child of suppose 15 months who comes to you and you do the Denver screening test. So from 15 months, you have to draw a line. You have to draw a straight line from 15 months. And that straight line that you draw, so all the milestones that are to the left of that line, the child should have covered. So if the child has not covered any milestone that is left at the left to the line, that means there is some delayed development for that milestone, but you should never tell on the basis of that at one sitting only that the child is developmentally delayed. Again, you should reassess the child after a month or two. And and one more thing is that each test item, as you can see in this above figure, each test item, this thing that is shaded in blue, basically it shows that for that test item, 75 to 90% of the children have attained that milestone. So suppose I draw a line for 15 months and suppose it intersects this milestone. It is not covering 75 to 90% of the children who have attained this milestone at that age. So that doesn't mean that the child is delayed. But if it is covering 75 to 90% of, if the line is covering 75 to 90% of the shaded area in the chat, that means that the child is having delay in that domain. So it involves gross motor, fine motor, language, and personal social behavior. It was revised and presented as Denver 2 in 1992 by Glasgow. It contains 125 items and it can be used up to 6 years of age. So the differentiating factor, there's a Trivandrum screening test also which is famous, and Denver. So Denver, remember that it is 6 years and Trivandrum is up to 2 years of age, and it takes 10 to 25 minutes to be performed. Trivandrum Development Screening Test. It is based on 17 selected items. Chart was designed at SAT Hospital, Trivandrum, for children up to 24 months of age, 2 years. Takes 5 to 7 minutes. This is the Trivandrum Development Screening Test. So on the x-axis, you can see the age and the milestones accordingly. GISL development schedule measures 4 functional areas of development. It is up to 5 years of age. takes 30 to 45 minutes, more concerned with diagnosis and evaluation of abnormalities than the attainment of various milestones. Development observation card. This was developed at SAT Trivandrum, and based on the observation that majority of development delays can be identified using 4 key milestones, namely social smile, sitting alone, standing alone, and taking few steps with or without support. And development quotient, you have to remember the formula, developmental age by chronological age into 100. And what one more question is global developmental delay. So global developmental delay is basically there is developmental delay in 2 or more areas, domains of development, which is below 2 standard deviations below the mean. And in that, fine motor and gross motor is considered as one domain only. And developmental age is according to the gestational age. Vaccination is according to the chronological age. Now this is a video that I'll be showing. If this is the last video, so you have to like tell what is the developmental age of the child in from this video. So this child can crawl. This child can stand from the sitting position, can stand holding on to furniture, can stand using the mother's hands, can play peekaboo, can look for a hidden toy. Transfers object from one hand to the other, points, picks up a pellet, puts it in the mouth. And has stranger anxiety. Says words like dada and plays peekaboo. Sorry, if anyone can reply to what is the developmental age of this child. I have finished my presentation. Shubhajit, 9 months. Yeah, 9 to 10 months is the correct answer.
Very good presentation. Very good presentation. তুই এটাকে ইচ্ছে করে রেখে দিস, আমাদের একটা কম্পিউটারে রেখে দিস, so that the students can see from time to time.
Okay, sir.
Okay. It was very good presentations. কিন্তু
Thank
তুই
you, sir.
কম্পিউটারের কিবোর্ডটাকে অত জোরে জোরে মারছিলি কেন? আপ আপ করে একটা আওয়াজ হচ্ছে।
I didn't realize, sir.
হ্যাঁ?
I didn't realize, sir.
হ্যাঁ। ঠিক আছে। আর কিছু? Any other questions? It's very important for the students actually. Very important for the students. Bornali, Mosumi, তোরা কিছু বলবি?
Yeah, very nice. Excellent presentation, Harshita.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, one thing.
A lot of hard work,
Excellent, excellent. এবং we were glued to the screen always. That's very important. We were really glued to the screen.
এটার একটা PDF করে পাঠিয়ে দিস। The videos will not come in PDF, but
Okay.
PDF করে পাঠিয়ে দিস। আর এইটা প্রেজেন্টেশনটা একটা ওয়ার্ডের কম্পিউটারে রেখে দিস, কিংবা ওয়ার্ডের কম্পিউটারটা তো এখন দেখতে পাই না, যাই হোক, I'll place a computer there so that students can see before the exams also.
Okay.
ঠিক আছে?
So if you need to do a basic developmental assessment in the exam, then what are the things that you will suggest the student to take?
The kit, ma'am, that you're talking about.
small something that they can take. May not be a formal kit, but few things by which they can assess, you know.
So they can take a rattle, they can take cubes, they can one form board is good. One form board is good enough, and after that they can take a bell for the sound. Um, Otherwise,
Sound a small rattle, but not very sharp, high-pitched sound, but rattle would be milder. Rattle would be better if you want to do the distraction test. Maybe some small edible something for a pincer grasp.
and a picture card, even that is important. Good enough DROM and test Xerox can be taken from the book.
That is for
They-
older children, but usually it's asked for younger children up to 5. Usually, yeah. Good enough draw, so you can ask the person to do it at that time. You can take a pen and pencil to see how they draw or scribble, some crayon. So these are some of the things that, you know, just to carry with you, even if you don't have a full kit.
And it's very important to observe a child. I mean, just not start examining. I think for the PGTs, I'm telling, just observe and tell, then we can pick up a lot of developments from there. Because once we start struggling with the child won't let us do anything. Nice, Harshita. Really well.
Good presentation, and I think if you keep it there, it will be useful. Because again, unless you know what is normal, it's difficult to appreciate. True.
Any questions? I think Joydeep sir wants to add something.
Yeah.
I can add something.
Yeah, Joydeep, there is a specialist in development.
Sir, if you want to add something.
रशिदा कुछ प्रॉब्लम है?
नहीं, actually Joydeep sir has
जयदीप
told in
सर
that
अभी निकल गया अभी.
Put it in the chat box.
जयदीप सर है नहीं.
Acha, he just said I can add something.
Yeah, you can put it in the chat box or unmute and
एक बार चैट बॉक्स
Okay,
देख लो, वहाँ पे थोड़ा क्वेश्चंस है.
Chat box में.
नीचे देखो, चैट में है.
Chat में, हाँ.
हाँ, उस पर क्लिक करो.
Questions. Mandira Dev has told that Trivandrum development screening test can be done till 6 years of age. Actually, I read 2 years in Illingworth. So if like you can like maybe the latest is 6 years, I don't know. I mean, I read 2 years in Illingworth. So if Moshmi ma'am can comment on that.
yeah, Denver development can be done, after 5 years or 6 years, you can do it. And so also Trivandrum also.
Okay. So Trivandrum is still 6 years then.
हाँ बोलून. কিছু এখন বলতাম না, আপনি কাজটা করান না এখন. না সে আসুক, কাজটা শেষ করুক, এসে দেখে চলে গেল, আপনি তাকে টাকা দিয়ে দেবেন, পরে দেওয়া যাবে. এখন কি হয় না, যদি
So
নতুন কম্পিউটার লাগে বা কিছু
she
লাগে
has
তখন
added one more point that they have has 2 divisions, 0 to 3 and 3 to
আগে
6.
কাজটা করে চালু করুক, একটা দিন দুটো দিন দেখুন, তারপরে হসপিটালে এসে দিয়ে দেবেন.
Okay.
আগে কাজটা তো করুক আগে.
And Joydeep Das sir has also written as Megit Carol.
কি বললো, আসবে বলেছে? কি বলেছে?
Trivandrum development screening test is done till 6 years. So that.
আচ্ছা, আর একটা শুনুন না, একটা কথা বলি আপনাকে.
Harshita, what is
হ্যাঁ, শুনুন না, একটা কথা বলি আপনাকে. কালকে না দুখানা পর আছে. একটা রাজীব সিনহা করছে, যেটা রুচি বলবে আমেরিকা থেকে, আর তারপরে 1 ঘন্টা বাদেই আবার আমাদের বলবে, আমাদের নৃত্য রয়েছে, এটার নামটা কি?
ask
সে বলবে আর দুখানা কি পর পর আইসিটি হলে লোক হবে কে জানে
And I can't hear you.
সেটাই
Yeah.
আমার না না আপনাকে কিছু বলতে হবে না আমি যে আপনাকে বলছি কথাটা
Somnatha's speech is coming. So sometimes examiners ask what is the meaning of developmental surveillance and what is the meaning of developmental screening.
Hmm.
So that is some are, that's a tough question. So basically developmental surveillance is what you do to every child, because every child doesn't need a detailed screening. But as we know the normal developmental milestones, you can quickly ask. And the other thing that they ask is what are the red flags? Even if you don't have a detailed screening chart with you, often it is so cumbersome, and in the general follow-ups, then as you said in the normal child, because we are doing the development of a normal child now, so we ask certain basic questions to see whether at least that has been achieved. For example, like social smile, that has to be by 8 months, 8 weeks. Then sitting with support by 6 months, without support by 8 months. Walking, standing without support by 17 months, walking by 18 months. So these are the red flag things. So any standard book. So what the examiner might ask is, okay, what are the upper limit or beyond which then we would call it delayed. So those ages have to be there in the mind. So those red flag lights, if the child has not attained by this time, then we have to go for a detailed screening. So basically developmental surveillance is quickly asking the basic milestones and seeing that the red flags are, they are within the red flags. And if there's any doubt, then we go for detailed screening. So that's just
One
to
thing,
add on.
Harshita, yeah,
Yes,
there's
ma'am.
a difference between stranger anxiety and separation anxiety. I think you can just tell it to the PGTs once.
So stranger anxiety is basically what any stranger around 9 months it comes. So any stranger, if it comes next to the child, basically he starts crying, he clings to the mother, that kind of a thing. So that is stranger anxiety. And separation anxiety is like he doesn't want to be separated from the mother, basically.
That comes at around 1.5 to 2 years, 1.5 years of age. I
1.5
suppose.
years of age. So
Yeah, so
basically, suppose he
feeling of being separated will be, yeah.
if he sleeps
And,
and suddenly gets up and he sees that his mother is not there, so he
Yeah.
starts crying. So that is separation anxiety.
Yeah, in fear of that, right?
In fear.
And one thing is that if a child comes to your clinic, practically speaking, and doesn't have a stranger anxiety, say he's clinging more to the strangers, not to the parents, you should also feel that there is a deficit in the parent-child bonding or some problem. Some abused children also behave like that. They don't cling to the parents, which is a very normal phenomenon. And in these development things, one thing that we should always observe the child and do, number one. Number two is that we should be thinking about the regressions. Okay, like you said, pointing finger, the autistic children, what do? They have a non-specific pointing. So, and the normal thing that they don't interact. So these are few subtle things we should keep in mind while we are dealing with that. Even the speech, if there's a regression, so it can be autism or it can be some, even a Landau-Kleffner can have a, regression of speech. So we should be thinking about the normal development, which is very important, and whether the child has lost that normal development, which he had it. Okay.
So I would just like to end by just commenting that development and surveillance is for every child. When will you send a child for a specialistic developmental screening? Is it you don't want to send every child for a detailed screening? So what are those things, what are those situations in which you would like to send the child to a detailed development assessment, for a detailed development assessment?
So when like basically the red flags, if we see that the red flags are there in at like basically child is red flags as per Nelson that I've seen. He's not sitting. He with like without support by 12 months. He's not walking by 18 months. There is no social smile by 10 weeks. So if all these things are there, then we should refer.
So yeah, so if you find a delay beyond the specific red flag, then you send. Or if there is a child who has had a stormy neonatal period, has spent in the NICU for some times, all those you send. Or a child who appears to be very floppy, those children, or a child with some dysmorphisms, if you suspect something not dysmorphic in the face or multiple anomalies, then you suspect. And of course, any child who has a disability, then you send. But the basic thing of doing a development assessment is to catch any delay early. So as early as possible, we have to catch it, because the essence is catch early and act fast. That is why the developmental surveillance and screening is important. The earlier we do some early intervention, the better results we have, because of the neuronal plasticity, and the brain is developing very fast, and whatever intervention you give early on will actually help the child better. So that's the purpose of development assessment and screening or surveillance. Okay, very good, very good.
Very nice presentation, Harshita. Really nice.
Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Joydip Da is there. His audio is working now.
No audio working. Audio not working. I am here.
We'll listen to him later then. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Shomnath Da.
Everybody, good night,
Thank
everybody.
you, sirs. Yeah. Bye, Harshita.
ma'am.
The videos were really nice.
Thank you, ma'am.